Hi YouTubers, if you own a motorhome, a camper van, or any kind of van conversion, more than likely you've had an accident or you're broken down or something's broken, and you probably carry a massive toolkit. I have my everyday, I've got to be careful with my wrist, my everyday motorhome must have repair anything and everything kit, and it fits into this little wash bag here. Stay tuned and I'll go through everything that's in this bag and what I've used, how I fix things in Millie in the motorhome, and some of these items in here have not only managed to get me home but are still being used in Millie today. So, you know, not only a get you home, you know, quick dirty repair, some of these are permanent fixes, and it all just fits in here. No massive toolbox, everything I need is in here, and I'll go through everything that's in here in this video. Hello. So I thought I'd start this video slightly different with all the items already out on the table, and I'll pack them in the bag. So this way you can see them, I can see them, and it's easier. Not the fact that I did the whole video, emptied it and made a mistake. I'm not going to go to all the items in depth because I want to try and keep this video down. So I'm just going to go through the items very quickly. If there's any of the items you want to know a bit more about, then comment below. If I get enough comments, I might do a detailed video on that particular item. So we're going to go from right to left in no particular order. I'm going to tell you about the item. I'm going to tell you how that item saved. Pretty much every item on this table has saved my life or sorted myself out or helped me resolve a problem. And that's what Everyday Carry's all about. It's about them sort of problems that could happen that you're always prepared for. So we'll go through, and as quickly as we'll go through, and I'll touch on the items and I'll tell you what it's for. So the first one, and possibly the most useful one, is the inspection mirror. Okay, they don't build motorhomes to make life easier, so they always put things behind or under things. So this inspection mirror has helped me many a times get myself out of trouble. Zip ties, plastic zip ties, just held together with another zip tie. These are really cheap pennies, but again, the exhaust on Millie is being held on by a zip tie and has done for the last couple of years. And because of that, I got some metal ones just in case. So again, pennies, but it's always useful. And these just fit in the side pouch. They take up very little space and they're just useful to have. I then got some tiny little screwdrivers, a Phillips and a flathead. These are really useful for any electrical work, again, and prying things out, etc. So you got that. I have this, is what's called, it's the Stanley screwdriver, and it's got a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver. Again, very useful. Fits in the top pocket. Always useful to have. I always carry it. These are pretty much unique to Millie and me. These are the spanners. I've got the snake head handbrake, which I got gifted by the What's Occurring, so thank you for that, guys. Still using it, and anyone who's tried to use the handbrake in a Fiat Ducato know that you've got to go all the way down, and I'm getting old, so this is just to get it on and off, and it's useful to have in case I ever need to take it off. Now the glue stick and a lighter. The glue stick is perfect for repairing cups, glasses, the kind of just running glide. You just melt it a bit, stick it on, and it'll fix most of your problems. Paracord, always useful to have a bit of string. You know, again, it's got me out of so many issues and troubles, tying things up, holding things together. You know, the backlight, when it first fell off, I power corded it on, and then I actually used some duct tape to fix it. So, but always useful to have a bit of power cord. This is a great little multi-tool. I quite like my multi-tools, and I kind of collect them. Again, all the links for these items, most of them I bought off Amazon. I've added a link into the description. So if you do want to look at these items in more detail, or maybe purchase them, the link is there. If you are going to buy them, do me a favor. If you use the affiliated link, you don't pay any more money than you would if you went via Amazon, but I just get a couple of pennies for it. So it just helps support the channel, and I'll be very grateful. So this is useful. You know, it's got for cutting the seatbelt, or for cutting string and stuff like that. And it's got a little screwdriver there and a tiny little skull. It's not very good, but it's all right for cutting the paracord. So I've used it a few times. It's also got a bit holder to put in your little bits, and then you've got a useful little screwdriver. Good bit of kit to have. Like I say, this has helped me out many times. As well as this, a pry bar, but it's also got a bit holder, so it holds a Phillips and a flathead. Also holds a tiny little pencil, which writes really well. And the bit heads, let me show you where the bit heads goes, because this is cool. The bit heads goes in here, and then you've got a ratchet screwdriver. Very useful. And a prise bar for prizing things open them. I struggle to open cans now, but it's got a bottle opener. But it's also very useful for bigger screws, or I find your battery terminals. I've used this just to get a battery terminal off before, because it's corroded on it. So again, it's just something to prise open, pulling nails out, etc. Gas detector. If you own a motorhome or got any kind of gas compliance and you do not have a gas detector, you're putting your life at risk. They're not that expensive, and this is less than a tenner, and you know, it's very good at picking up toxic gases. So save your life one day. If I'm doing any work on when I'm lighting the fridge on gas, I just like to use that. I leave it for a couple of minutes, and then I just check to make sure there's no leaks. Peace of mind. Tin of spare screws. This is just a mixture of different size screws. Always lose a screw, always need some spare screws, and it's useful to have a selection of different sizes. Or else you can do that. You want to spare fuses, and also inside the spare fuse tin, I've got two of these connector type fixers. Now, these are much better than the chocolate box. You just put the cable in here, cable in there. Creates a watertight, secure cable connection. Better than doing the twisty, which, to be honest, I normally do. Good bit of kit. I've got two of them. I've got a big box of them. With electrical stuff is using some heat shrink. Again, some heat shrink with the lighter, just to tidy up your electrical connections and keeping it all nice and tidy. I love my multi-tool, so this is another multi-tool. Again, it's unfortunately highly illegal because it's a one-handed and lockable blade. So legal to carry in the UK. Fits it in the toolbox. But again, it's standard use of pair of pliers, always useful to have a pair of pliers. It also has a bit on here which locks in place. That then also changes to a Phillips. So you've always got a Phillips or a flathead screwdriver on you. However, again, it's not British legal. But then you've got all the other bits on here. So it always makes it really hard to get out of. You've got tiny set of scissors. These are all right, but I don't find them as sharp as these. So I have another pair of scissors on here. But it's got your standard flathead screwdriver, tiny little pokey thing, can opener, which I have used and didn't clean, so it's dirty. always useful to have a can opener. The amount of times I've gone away and I've forgotten the can opener that I have in Millie, but I sometimes take the can opener from Millie and use it in home because it's a better one than I've got in the house, and then forget to put it back in. So then I go away without a can opener. So I have used this can opener a few times while I've been away. And, you know, again, it's quite cheap. These are not your Gerbers or your Leathermans. I think this is less than 20, just over £20. Maybe it's definitely less than 30. Oh, and these little stickers. I put these little luminous stickers on. And this is a recent addition because when it's pitch black, it's really hard to find your tools. And because a lot of these are black, you can't find them. So these are quite good. And they glow reasonably well in the dark. So useful point to have. This is my torch. This is my favourite torch. Not only is it a torch, but it's a gooseneck one, so you can get the light right where you need it, but it's also magnetic. So when you drop your stuff down your drains or at the back of the, I mean, there's so many nooks and crannies in Millie. You know, your 30mm bit, spanner head, you know, it's all here. This has saved my life so many times. Out of all these products, I think this is probably one that's been used the most. That and the mirror, great bit of kit to have. And then you've got your duct tape, you know, the classic, if it moves and it's not supposed to move, duct tape it. If it doesn't move and needs to be moved, hit it with a hammer. This is like really cool duct tape because it's got a tape backing. So peel it off and it's very, very sticky. Yes, I've got some duct tape which I've kind of rolled, and I mean, duct tape's very good at sticking, then peeling back and then reusing, but I find that because this has not been used yet, this is very strong. It's also what I use that's holding on the back light in Millie at the present moment. So got to have some duct tape. Insulation tape, always useful. I did have a smaller roll, which unfortunately coming down, so I thought it's about time I increased it, so I just bought this the other day. So I have got more electrical roll. However, for the kind of things I need it for and the size that it takes up, I might put this roll back in. I've not quite decided yet. Self-amalgamating tape. Now, if you don't know what self-amalgamating tape is, it is really useful. Must have that. If you don't have any of this, buy a roll now and put it in your toolbox. What it is it's like a rubber tape, but it only sticks to itself. But it's also very stretchy. So you stretch it around your repair. So it's great for repairing air hoses, water pipes, fuel pipes. You know, must have item in any toolkit, certainly in a motorhome. And this is waterproof tape. Again, so many uses for this. Actually, I've got this in the roof of Millie. It's supposed to be a temporary repair. I've just never repaired Millie's roof. So this is all over Millie's roof. And again, I had a big roll of this, and this is all I've got left, and I may need to buy some more. Again, it's not cheap, but it lasts forever, and it really keeps the water out. And like I say, I've had it on Millie's roof. It's not permanent repair because Millie's roof's leaking again, so I do need to do something about the roof. Any recommendations or advice, then please let me know. But in the short term, if you've got a leaky roof, it'll stop the water getting in. Great for water tanks as well. Hand wipes. These are not just hand wipes, they're sanitizer wipes, and also, yeah, the whole body. Always useful to have. I've got a couple of packs of them. I buy a pack of 100 and then I put them in all my EDC kits. So these are in all my different EDC kits. I should also say this is an everyday carry for the motorhome. I personally always carry tons of useful stuff, and I might do a video on my personal YouTube, my personal everyday carry sling bag. If you're interested in that, comment below. So there's the hand wipes. All-purpose adhesive, again quite useful. I used this to repair a pair of shoes at the festival a couple of months ago, and they're still holding up, so not bad. I prefer this over super glue. I might replace it to if I can find a smaller tube. This is slightly big, but it's all-purpose, sticks everything and anything, and it's just come in handy for them quick short-term repairs that I need in an emergency. Here's the gadgets. I quite like the gadgets. So this is the folding scissors. You need scissors to cut the self-amalgamating tape, by the way. You can't pull it, you can't tear it, and using a knife's no good, so you definitely need some scissors. So these are probably being used more for that self-amalgamating tape. And also, I've got a few pairs of these. They're very useful. I can't find this exact pair, but I did find very similar pair, and I put a link in Amazon. But I just thought I'd let you know this is not the exact one. I'm not sure where I got these, unfortunately, but they look exactly the similar, and again, they're very, very useful. They fit on the key ring. I have one of these always on my everyday carry. I might put one on my key rings, but already my key rings are huge, so too much to carry. I know I love multi-tools, and to be honest, slightly cheating, as these two items are normally always in my pocket, but because I've always got them, I thought I'd mention them. This is the Nexus flagship, I think. Spring-loaded scissors. These scissors are actually surprisingly very sharp, so very useful. Because that's in my pocket every day. I use it all the time. You've also got, sorry, my wrist is sore. Spring-loaded pliers. Those have come very useful. It's also got a wire cutter there, and then the blade on this is UK legal. Yeah, you can't get me copper, because it's less than 3 inches, and also there's no lock. You know, you can just, it doesn't lock in place. Gotta love the UK knife carrying law, don't you? Because it makes it actually more dangerous to use, but you know, apparently you can't stab anyone if it's not locked. Again, cheapest chips, I think that's only about £23, 25, less than 25 quid. But this, the Woburn torch, this is awesome. So it's got a lock there, right? So you can't turn it on while it's in your pocket. That's why it sits in the pocket. It has a magnetic base here, which is very useful, so you can stick it onto your car bonnet where you're working. It also has a swivel light, and the clip moves around. So you're going to clip it in your pocket, adjust the light, hands free. You clip it on your cap of your hat. You've got a head torch. It's actually very, it has a group of different coloured lights. Oh, I probably just blew it out. A very powerful adjustable with a wheel bar. Yeah, how strong it goes. And the light. All done by the wheel. And it does colours. Purple, yellow, blue. I'm trying to do this so I'm not yellow, green. Yeah. You can have a little disco in your van. So that's a Woburn torch. Again, magnetic. It's just, this is my favourite torch. Look at the size of that. Them two take hardly any room. Always in my pocket. Lifesaver. And we do tape. This is some Suaviga, but it's not Suaviga. It's a lot more gentle on your skin. It's actually moisturises your hands as well. So, you know, if you want to clean your hands but also look after yourself, this stuff's really useful. I bought it in a big tub and just decanted it in these to make it more practical. Notebook and pen, very useful. I've also got emergency numbers written inside of here, but it's also, if you're doing a repair, taking something apart, and you want to make some notes on, you know, how you pulled it apart to put it back in again, draw some diagrams, write a note. If you get into an accident, write down people's registration numbers, all that kind of stuff. Always have to have a notebook and pen in your motorhome. Or if I'm writing ideas for YouTube videos, which is, if you've got any ideas for YouTube videos that you think I should do, put them in the comments. I do like to read your comments. I do like to see them. I've also got a glow stick, military style. I have hundreds of these. They're all over the place. I've got a pack of them up there. The ones up there have got little clips on, which are really useful. Just clip on things, shake them up, job done. You have. Now, it's at that point, my camera battery died, which is quite rubbish because it was fully charged. So I may need to look at that. I don't think I'm using the GoPro branded batteries, and they don't seem to be lasting very long. So anyway, last item is, I think I've discussed everything, is obviously the voltmeter. And there's lots of videos on the voltmeters. What I like about this one is it all clips in together nice and neat. He says nice and neat. And they are a place where you can hang it up. There's a clip on there so you can actually put it away nice and tidy. So he says, here you go. And it just keeps everyone nice and tidy. So there you go. There's your voltmeter. So all them items fit into the pouch. So there you go, the EDC Motorhome Kit. Everything you need to repair and get your motorhome, your camper van, your van conversion back on the road. Now, comments below, did I miss anything? Is there anything I should include? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you would take out? Interactive video, comment below what you think of the kit. And also, if you like this video, comment below if you want to see some more EDC stuff, or if you want me to get back to the motorhome stuff. Well, I'm still there, and we will be doing some more motorhome videos. But also, if you like this video and you're watching it and you're not subscribed and you want to carry on watching all my other videos, press the subscribe button, press the notification button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps me, helps the channel, grows the channel, and it motivates me to do more videos. So if you want to see more videos, subscribe. Anyway, catch you in the next video. Ba 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 ba.